all security that the ego arranges for itself are necessarily false, essentially. But again, it is also the ego that realizes the worthlessness of this false security and then goes towards liberation or goes towards the guru, right? So in this case, what happens to the ego which was seeking false security, or is this just another trick that the ego is playing, that it is somehow using itself to seek liberation?
See, the ego is something that you are wearing upon yourself, right? You're not comfortable in it. It hurts you in all possible ways. But you have been wearing it since long. So you want to improve it. You want to do everything that would make you feel comfortable in it. This, the dress that you have donned, has become your name, your existence, your identity. But ultimately a point has to come when you have to realize that you do exist even without it. You could either say you are better off without the ego, or if you have become the ego, then the statement takes a very interesting form. The ego is better off without itself. Does that answer your question? The ego must aim for its own annihilation, because the ego is better off without itself. And if you are wondering, how can the ego be better off without itself when the ego won't be left at all without itself? No. The ego won't be left at all, true, but that which was within the ego, at the foundation of the ego, would surely still be left, just as the man is surely left even after he takes off his shirts and pajamas, right? The ego is an ill-fitting set of garments. You're thoroughly engaged inside those ill-fitting garments. They are surrounding you from all sides. Therefore, nothing of you is visible to yourself. You wear something from the head till toe and stand in front of the mirror. What do you see? Nothing but garments. So it is possible that you start thinking that you are the garments, because all you have ever seen is the... Whenever you have gone to the mirror has told you, you are the garments. Because the mirror is supposed to show you to you, right? Instead, the mirror has shown your garments to you. So the ego does survive without itself, just as you would survive without your garments. Hence, it is alright for the ego to seek its end, just as it is alright for you to seek to throw away ill-fitting and uncomfortable garments. What is inside the garments? is indescribable.
I think that's what I think Ramana Maharshi talks about as the true self. Or
The ego is an unnecessary thing over the true self.
it is there, but it is just not that which we.
Not needed, unnecessary. Not only would you survive without it, you would actually be better off. And mind you, we are talking of ill-fitting compulsive garments here. You may have a great body, and then consciously you may choose to put on a comfortable set of garments, and that's an entirely different thing compared to wearing something unconsciously, compulsively, and considering it your skin, your limbs, your face, everything. What you think of as your face is just a mask. What you think of as your arms are just the arms of the pullover. But what will happen to me, these are the only arms I know of. Try undressing. That's spirituality. The final disrobing. Now there is nothing left to take off.
When you say that we have to dive, then what is the role of calculated risks here? Where one should, if I am waking up in the morning and planning my day, then that's calculation. That is, I'm not living my day saying that.
You have decided to give yourself up to the sacred pond. Right? The sacred pond is far away. It's to the sacred pond that your total commitment is. It's with the pond that you have fallen in love. But the pond is far away. You want to rush to the pond. That's where you aim to give yourself up. In between, there is so much more that can take your life. You have to travel, and traveling includes a lot of risks. You have to travel, there are vehicles, and there are people you have to meet, and there is so much else. This is where you want to be clever, smart, and calculative. Because you are committed fully to the one, therefore you want to save yourself fully for the one. You want to die in the pond. You do not want to die at the hands of some drunken truck driver. So you are looking, you are thinking, You're calculating. There is something that you want to surrender, and you want to surrender it only to the right one. However, there are 100 others who will snatch away all that you have if you're not careful. So you have to be careful in that domain. Do you see this? It's an unreasonable love towards the sacred water, and therefore you have to be very reasonable towards the rest of the world. You want to save your life when it comes to the rest of the world by using your intellect, your reason, your logic, everything. Why do you want to save your life using your reason, your logic, your everything? Because there is an unreasonable love that you have towards something else. So your reason is acting as a slave to your unreasonableness. Getting it? So it's not as if the person of truth roams about like a brainless fool. He exercises reason, wit, intellect, everything, because he is committed to something that is beyond reason. Because I have to die at that one sacred place, therefore I'll ensure that nobody else is able to take my life. Do you get this? I'm not saving my life because I want to live for myself. I'm saving my life because my life must be given up only at the altar of the sacred. When it comes to the sacred, my life means nothing. I'm going to sacrifice it there. But when it comes to the world, my life is very precious. I'm not going to lose my one precious life to this frivolous world. Here I'll be very careful. Here I'll be very calculative. I have to save myself. I have to preserve myself so that I can offer myself at the right place. Are you getting it?